The last nail bit into the splintered board, and the wobble finally left the front step. The sound carried through the farmhouse like a crack of thunder. It was close to midnight in rural Maine. Heavy clouds stacked over the fields as if the sky had a grudge against me. Good night for fixing something that never should have been broken. Ethan, you are being ridiculous. The voice came from behind me. My wife, Lauren, stood in the doorway. Her blonde hair looked like she had just walked out of a salon, not out to a porch in the middle of the night. She smelled like expensive cologne. Not mine. I kept my face plain and steady. That is my default setting. Ridiculous? Me? I am a hardware store manager fixing a step at midnight because my loving wife keeps forgetting it is broken. Sounds practical to me. Lauren set one heel onto the new board and tested it like a buyer tapping on a car fender. It held. We need to talk about your late meetings with the insurance clients, I said. The ones that happen 3 nights a week and somehow require you to shower the second you get home. I stood up and brushed the sawdust off my hands. Sure, I added. Let us talk. She flinched, just a little, and then pulled herself together. Lauren always found her balance fast. I do not believe in monogamy anymore, Ethan, she said, like she was reading a memo. I am sleeping with other men. The hammer slipped out of my hand and clattered across the boards. Not because I was surprised. I had felt it in my gut for months. It was the way she said it. Like she was telling me meatloaf would be cold by 9. Good for you, I said, and bent to pick up the hammer. Her eyebrows jumped. That is it. That is your response. What did you expect? I asked. Tears. Begging. A speech about our 7 years of marriage. You were supposed to grovel, she said. Instead, I said, I grabbed popcorn. The storm finally split open and fat drops smacked the porch in a steady drumbeat. Lauren stepped back under the doorway. Some of that easy confidence slid off her face. I expected you to care, she said softly. Oh, I care, I said. I care enough to fix this step so you do not break your neck sneaking out to your boyfriend's place. I care enough to pretend I do not smell Adam Pierce's cologne on your clothes. I care enough to keep paying for the phone plan you used to text him. The color drained out of her cheeks. How did you know about Adam? This town has 8,000 people, I said. When the local real estate golden boy starts cruising around in a Tesla and bragging about his flexible schedule, folks notice. When my wife works late on the same nights Adam posts Instagram stories from the Lantern Bar, folks talk. Thunder rolled across the fields like someone moving furniture upstairs. Lauren hugged her sweater tight. I want an open marriage, she said, reaching for control again. We can both see other people. An open marriage, I repeated, slow, like I was trying to read a street sign in the rain. Interesting timing. Right after you have been seeing Adam for what? 3 months? 4? 4, she said. And it is not about Adam. Everything is about Adam, Lauren, I said. Adam with the shiny car and the lakeside house. Adam who sells million-dollar places to city people looking for summer. Adam who promised you more sparkle than an old farmhouse and a husband who smells like sawdust. She opened her mouth, but I held up my hand. Here is the thing about open marriages, sweetheart. They go both ways. You want to play the field? Fine. Do not expect me to sit at home like a faithful dog while you are out chasing excitement. What is that supposed to mean? She asked. I smiled, and for the first time in months it felt real. It means I am calling your sister. Every bit of color left her face. Brooke? Why would you? Because Brooke always said you were too selfish to see what you had, I said. Looks like she was right. I walked past her into the house and paused at the doorway. Thanks for the permission, honey. This is going to be fun. That night, after Lauren locked herself in our bedroom, I sat in my workshop behind the house and stared at my phone. Rain hammered the metal roof. The sound matched my heartbeat. The shop smelled like wood stain and old pine. My tools hung in neat rows. Saws, drills, a bench I built with my father. Brooke answered on the second ring. Ethan, it is almost 1 in the morning. Is everything all right? Define all right, I said. Your sister just informed me she is sleeping with Adam Pierce and wants an open marriage. I am thinking about taking her up on it. Silence. The kind that has a weight to it. Rain filled it. I will be right over, Brooke said at last. It is pouring, I said. You live 20 minutes away. Ethan, I have been waiting for this talk for 7 years, she said. A little rain will not stop me. She showed up 30 minutes later, soaked through and grinning like she had scratched a winning ticket. At 34, she was 3 years older than Lauren. She was everything her sister was not. Sharp-tongued, independent, not impressed by small-town pecking orders. "So," she said, taking the towel I handed her. Little sister finally showed her true colors. We sat in the workshop surrounded by the tools of my trade. The smell of honest work settled between us. My shop out back is my quiet place. Lauren never sets foot there. It is the one corner of the property that still feels like mine. "You do not seem surprised," I said. Brooke squeezed water from her dark hair and gave me a look I knew well. "Ethan, I have watched Lauren push people around since she was 5 years old. She always chases what she cannot have, and she is certain she is the smartest person in any room. The only shock is that it took her this long to get bored with pretending she wanted a family." I pulled 2 beers from the little fridge I keep for late projects. "She thinks I am just going to sit here and take it." "Are you?" Brooke asked. "Absolutely not," I said. I popped both caps and handed her one. "But I am not going to be an idiot either. No big scenes. No keys on paint jobs. No midnight calls to some man's wife." "Adam is not married," she said. "I know," I answered. "That is the point. I am going to be smart about this." I took a long pull and weighed my choices. "Let us start with dinner tomorrow. Are you free?" Brooke's smile could have powered the whole block. "I have been free for 7 years, Ethan. The real question is whether you are finally ready to do something about it." Morning came with the sound of water running. Lauren was in the shower, humming like she had just solved the world's problems by tearing up our marriage. Her phone sat on the nightstand, lighting up over and over. What I did next does not make me proud, but I did it. The phone was unlocked. Lauren has never taken security seriously. Messages from Adam Pierce filled the screen. "Last night was unreal. Did you remove the recording? I cannot wait to walk you through the new listings. A few have very private bedrooms. Does your husband suspect anything? He is clueless. He thinks I am working late." That last line hit me harder than the rest. Not because she was cheating, because she thought I was stupid. 7 years together, and she truly believed I could not see what was right in front of me. The water stopped. I put the phone back exactly where it had been, but not before I memorized Adam's number and noticed the little cloud icon in her settings. Lauren might be careless about passwords, but she is careful about backups. "Morning, honey," she said as she came out wrapped in a towel. "Sleep well." "Like a baby," I said. In my head, I was already laying out the day. "I am having dinner with Brooke tonight." She froze halfway to the closet. "Dinner? Why?" "Because my wife told me I am free to see other people. Brooke is single, attractive, and good company." I stretched just a little too big on purpose. "Unless you changed your mind about that open marriage." "No, she started, suddenly hunting for words. "Brooke is your sister," she tried again. "And Adam is your lover," I said. "Looks like we are both widening our circles." I left her there with her mouth open, like someone had tried to teach algebra to a goldfish. The hardware store stayed slammed all morning. Spring in Maine turns every person into a deck builder, a fence fixer, or a first-time gardener. I spent hours matching folks to the right screws, stains, and power tools. Honest work for honest problems. It steadied me. Around noon, my buddy Logan Hayes walked in. We have been friends since high school. Heavy set, quick on the one-liners, and somehow informed on everything that happens in town. He works nights at the Lantern Bar, which makes him the unofficial librarian of local gossip. "I heard you were taking Brooke out tonight," he said, leaning on the counter. "News moves quick," I said. "It moves faster when Casey the bartender loves to talk," he said. "Brooke called her for restaurant ideas." "You good, man? I mean really good?" I almost gave him the automatic, "I am fine." But Logan has stood next to me through my first divorce, my dad's funeral, and a handful of other storms. He deserved straight truth. "Lauren has been sleeping with Adam Pierce," I said quietly, checking that no customers were close. "She wants an open marriage." Logan's face went dark. "That slick real estate hero? You have got to be kidding me." "I wish I was," I said. "She dropped it last night like she was ordering coffee." "What are you going to do?" I smiled. Logan actually took one step back. He knows that smile. It is the one I wore the day Tyler Mason tried to shove me in a locker, and I convinced the entire football team he was the one stealing mouth guards from the equipment bin. "I am going to give her exactly what she asked for," I said. "An open marriage. Dinner tonight is step 1. After that, we will see how much Lauren likes to share." The Lantern Bar sits at the edge of town like a beacon for the restless. Weathered wood siding. neon signs buzzing in the window, a gravel lot that becomes a mud wallow every spring. It is not fancy, but it is ours. On any night, half the town is in there, either washing down bad days with cheap beer or chasing good ones with Casey's surprisingly great burgers. I showed up early and grabbed a booth with a clear view of the door. Brooke walked in 5 minutes later, and I had to admit she came ready. Black dress, red lipstick, heels that tapped across the floor like they knew where they were going. Heads turned, including Ray Walker, who had been babysitting the same beer for 2 straight hours. "You clean up nice," I said as she slid in across from me. "You should see me when I am really trying," she said, and waved Casey over. "Whiskey neat. Make it a double." Casey Reed, all red hair, tattoos, and attitude, lifted an eyebrow. "Are we celebrating or grieving?" "Both," Brooks said. "Depends how the night ends." We ordered and slipped into easy talk. It felt natural, something I had not felt at a table with Lauren in months. Brooke laughed at my stories, asked about the store, and actually listened to the answers. "So," she said while cutting into her steak, "what is the plan here, Ethan? Are we just making Lauren jealous, or are we building something real?" "Honestly, I do not know yet," I said. "Yesterday I thought I was happily married. Today I am eating dinner with my wife's sister while she is probably at Adam's place doing things I do not want to picture." "For what it is worth," Brooke said, "I never liked Adam Pierce." "Why not?" "He uses people," she said, eyes hardening. "Always has. Back in high school he dated my friend Emily for 6 months, then ditched her right before prom for a girl with a richer dad. He steps on folks to climb ladders." She took a slow sip of whiskey. "And Lauren? She has always chased shiny things. Adam has money, status, and that polished act that works on people who do not look too close." "The real question is what you are going to do about it," Brooks said. Before I could answer, the front door swung open and Lauren walked into the Lantern Bar with her best friend, Ashley Monroe. Ashley works nights at the hospital. Dark hair, a face that always looks worried. She loves other people's messes almost as much as she loves giving them advice. She has been Lauren's biggest cheerleader in all the worst ways. Lauren's eyes found me, then slid to Brooke. Her face ran through a whole slideshow: surprise, anger, and then a tight flicker of panic. "Well," Brooke murmured, "looks like we have company." Lauren marched to our booth, Ashley close behind like a trained shadow. "What is this?" Lauren demanded. "Dinner," I said, calm as a lake in winter. "You remember dinner? That thing married couples used to share before one of them started working late every night." "Ethan, we need to talk privately." "Actually, we do not," I said. "You were clear last night. Open marriage, remember? Freedom to explore other relationships." I gestured toward Brooke. "So, I am exploring." Ashley leaned forward, voice syrupy with concern. "Ethan, do you not think this is a little inappropriate?" Brooke smiled like a blade. "Lauren's lover is Adam, and I am her sister. Inappropriate seems to be the theme of the evening." Red rose up Lauren's neck. "This is not what I meant," she said. "What did you mean exactly?" I asked. "That I should sit home while you go chase fun? That I should smile and nod while you parade your not boyfriend around town?" "Adam is not my boyfriend," she snapped. "Right," I said. "He is just the man you have been sleeping with for months." "My mistake." The room fell quiet in that special small-town way where everyone pretends not to listen while catching every word. Faces angled toward televisions. Drinks paused halfway to lips. I could feel people collecting the story for later. Lauren realized it too and pitched her voice down. "We will discuss this at home." "No," I said, standing. "I put cash on the table for our meal. If we discuss it at all, we will do it through lawyers." I offered Brooke my arm. She took it with a smile that could have softened steel. "Ready to get out of here?" "Lead the way," she said. We were almost to the door when Lauren called after us. "This is not over, Ethan." I turned and gave her my most innocent smile. "You are absolutely right. It is just getting started." Outside, Brooke burst into laughter. "Did you see her face?" I have not seen Lauren that rattled since she got caught cheating on the college entrance exam. "She cheated on that too?" "Among other things," Brooke said. "She has been loose with the truth since we were kids. The difference now is that she finally ran into someone who will not roll over." We stood in the cool spring air. The storm had blown through overnight, leaving a clean sky and the smell of wet dirt. "So," Brooke said, "what now?" "Now we go back to my place. I want to show you something I found on Lauren's phone this morning." Her eyes lit. Ethan Mallory, are you suggesting we do something devious? I am suggesting we level the field. She wants to play games. Fine. She is about to learn I am better at them than she thinks. We drove to the farmhouse in separate cars, Brooke following my taillights along the dark curves of the county road. The house was quiet when we pulled in. I figured Lauren was still at the Lantern Bar, trying to put her pride back together with Ashley's help. In the workshop, I woke up my laptop and showed Brooke what I had found. She backs everything up to the cloud, I said. Photos, messages, even videos. All there if you know where to look. Brooke scrolled, her face hardening with every new file. Ethan, some of these were taken in your bedroom. I know. And this clip is from your anniversary dinner last month. She was messaging Adam while you were giving that speech about how much you loved her. I know that too. Brooke looked up at me, eyes bright with anger and something warmer. What do you want to do with this? I leaned back and let the chair creak. I want Lauren to get exactly what she has earned. But I want it done smart and done legal. No broken laws. No threats. Just clean consequences for bad choices. I am in, Brooke said without a second of hesitation. You do not even know the plan yet. It does not matter. Lauren has had this coming for years. And Adam Pierce has needed a reality check since high school. She closed the laptop and faced me square. Besides, I have my own reasons. What kind of reasons? Her smile turned sharp. Let us just say Adam and I have history. It did not end in my favor. Time for a little payback. Gravel crunched in the driveway. Headlights flicked across the wall. Lauren is home, Brooke whispered. Good, I said and caught her hand. Do not leave yet. Let her see your car. Let her wonder. We sat in easy quiet while the front door slammed and heels clacked across the hardwood. A light came on in the bedroom, then clicked off. Brooke peered through the window. She is probably calling Adam right now, she said. Let them both sweat, I answered. After about 20 minutes, Brooke stood to go. At the workshop steps, she kissed me goodnight. It was soft, curious. It carried a promise I could feel in my chest. I watched her taillights disappear down the lane, then went inside to face whatever storm Lauren had saved for me. She was waiting in the kitchen, still in her bar outfit, arms folded tight, jaw set. We need to talk, she said. No, we really do not, I said, heading for the stairs. You made your choice. Now you get the result. Ethan, please. I know I handled this badly, but nothing, I said. You wanted an open marriage. Congratulations. You have one. Do not expect me to live by your rules. I climbed the steps and left her alone in the kitchen. For the first time in months, I slept like a stone and dreamed of a cold plan served twice as sweet. The next few days moved like one long, quiet drill. I went to work. I came home. I acted like the world had not shifted an inch. Lauren got jumpier by the hour when it sank in that I was not going to beg for mercy or demand she cut off Adam. I was not going to perform at all. Thursday morning, I made my first real move. Adam Pierce drove a white Tesla Model S, the kind of car that shouts for attention in a town where most folks drive pickups and tired sedans. Every morning, like clockwork, he slid it into the small lot behind his real estate office at exactly 8:30, then spent the next hour nursing expensive coffee and counting little hearts on social media. I knew, because I had watched him for 3 straight days. Routine tells you where the cracks are. Habits can be used. The nice part about my plan was that it was simple and legal on its face. No broken glass. No slashed tires. Just a little creativity with things you can buy at a hardware or craft aisle. There is a kind of fish-based fertilizer that smells like a dock in July after a heat wave. It is harmless to the planet, completely legal, and the stink clings to fabric like a bad decision. I made sure that smell found its way into Adam's car. Then I dusted the cabin with the superfine craft glitter, the type that drifts into every seam and never truly leaves. For the finishing touch, I left a note under the wiper. Next time, protect the car, too. A concerned neighbor. By 9 o'clock, I was back at the hardware counter, pointing folks to the right fasteners and stain, like I had never left. When Adam discovered his ride around lunch, you could hear him 3 blocks away. The roar rolled down Main Street and bounced off the diner windows. Logan Hayes stopped in that afternoon, grinning like a kid on the morning of December 25th. Heard Adam Pierce had car trouble, he said. Really? I asked. What kind? The kind that draws a hazardous materials cleanup crew and a very pricey detailing bill. Word is somebody turned that Tesla into a glitter comet with a bonus fish market. I made the right sympathetic sounds. Terrible. Who would do such a thing? Somebody with a sense of humor and a coupon for craft supplies, he said. Then he leaned closer. He is calling it vandalism, but the sheriff says there is no sign of forced entry or damage. Just a very smelly practical joke. Practical jokes can be dangerous, I said. Sometimes they make people think they can play with other people's lives and not pay for it. Yeah, Logan said slow. Sometimes they do. That evening, Brooke invited me to dinner at her place. She rents part of an old farmhouse 20 minutes out, the cozy kind filled with books, plants, and furniture that looks like it actually gets used. I heard about Adam's car, she said, pouring wine. Any idea who might be responsible? Could be anyone, I said. He is not exactly beloved. No, he is not, she said, handing me a glass. Especially to people who know the real him. Speaking of which, you never told me about the history between you two. Her face changed, older for a second. Senior year, she said. I was dating a good guy named Daniel Park. He was set to study engineering at the state university. Adam wanted Daniel's spot on the academic honor roll. He started whispering that Daniel cheated on tests. Was it true? Of course not. But Adam had help from the shiny crowd. The rumor spread. The school investigated. Nothing was proven, but the stress tanked Daniel's grades. He lost his scholarship. What happened to him? He worked at his family's restaurant instead of going to college. We broke up because he was too ashamed to look me in the eye. Last I heard, he was managing a place in Portland. He never finished a degree. I set my glass down and felt the shape of it all click into place. And Adam grabbed the spot. The letters. The scholarship. Everything that should have been Daniel's. Brooke nodded. He broke a good person to climb one step higher, and nobody ever made him answer for it. Until now, I said. Until now, she echoed, raising her glass. To delayed justice and creative problem solving. We tapped glasses, and I felt something shift between us. This was no longer just about my marriage. It was about making sure people like Adam finally met the bill. After dinner, we sat on her couch with notepads like two small-town generals. The car stunt was brilliant, Brooke said. But that is just the opening shot. We need something bigger. Something that hits them where it hurts. Their reputations, I said at once. Lauren sells herself as the perfect wife and citizen. Adam's entire business depends on trust. We show people who they really are. Carefully, I added. No laws crossed. No cheap tricks that could blow back. It has to be clean, documented, and true. Brooke smiled, and for a second she looked like her sister, only warmer. Has anyone ever told you that you are a little scary when you start mapping things out? My ex-wife mentioned it once or twice, I said. She laughed, and the sound made the room feel lighter. Good, I told myself. Adam and Lauren have no idea what is coming. I drove home feeling more awake than I had in months. The farmhouse sat dark when I pulled in. Lauren's car was gone. I figured she was at Adam's place, talking him down after the little car incident. Inside, a note waited on the kitchen counter. Gone to Ashley's for the weekend. We need space to think. I crushed the paper and dropped it in the trash. Space to think, or space to plan their next move. Either way, the weekend was mine to set the next stage. Friday night, I parked myself in the workshop. I read up on how local timelines boost talk, how hashtags drift through small towns, and which private groups spread news fastest. In a place like ours, information is money. I was about to cash out. Saturday morning, I started at the Lantern Bar. Casey Reed was halfway inside the beer cooler counting inventory when I walked in. Her face warmed when she saw me. Ethan, how are you holding up? I heard it has been rough at home. Could be better, I said. Can I ask you something off the record? Go ahead. How long have people known about Lauren and Adam? Casey's mouth pulled tight. I do not like to spread gossip. I am not asking you to spread anything, I said. I need to know how much cleanup I am facing. She set the clipboard down and sighed. A couple of months. Maybe 3. They were not subtle. Adam brags about his flexible schedule, and Lauren has been seen leaving his place at all hours. Who else knows? Most of the regulars, she said. Ray Walker, the Hendricks brothers, probably half the folks at the hospital with Ashley. She paused. I am sorry, Ethan. I thought about saying something, but it is not my place. Do not apologize, I said. You did nothing wrong. I pulled out my wallet. Let me buy you a drink when you are off. I have a proposal. An hour later, I left with Casey's word to help steer some very specific truths through her network. Nothing made up. Nothing cruel for sport. Just the facts, shown under bright light. By Sunday evening, half the town knew that Adam Pierce was sleeping with a married woman, that Lauren Mallory had been lying to her husband for months, and that the two of them had laughed about it behind my back. The small-town jury had started deliberating, and the verdict was already forming. Lauren came home Sunday night and found me reading in the living room like the picture on a furniture flyer. She looked worn down, worried around the eyes. "We need to talk," she said for what felt like the 100th time. "Do we?" I asked. "I thought you were taking space to think." "People are saying things," she said. "Awful things. About me and Adam. About our marriage. Ashley says the whole town is talking." I closed my book and met her eyes with plain innocence. "You told me you wanted an open marriage. People talk when things are unusual." "I did not say it was open to the public." "No," I said. "But you did make it open to Adam, and he is not famous for keeping his mouth shut." I stood. "You wanted freedom, Lauren. Freedom comes with consequences." "This is not what I wanted," she said, voice wobbling. "Then you should have considered that before you blew up our marriage," I said, and headed upstairs. She started to cry behind me, but I kept walking. The fight had only started, and I planned to win it. Monday brought the first real fallout. Adam stormed into the hardware store just after we unlocked the doors. His face was red, and his high-priced suit looked like it had spent the night on a chair. "We need to talk," he barked loud enough to rattle the paint cans. I looked up from my inventory sheet and noticed Mrs. Whitaker and Ray Walker within easy earshot. "Perfect," I said pleasantly. "I am sorry. Do we know each other?" "Do not play games with me, Mallory," he snapped. "I know you were the one who messed with my car." "Your car?" I asked. "The Tesla that smelled like low tide? I heard about that. Terrible business. Vandalism, right?" He stepped in close to use his height. "He has me by a few inches, 6'2" to my 5'10", but I have spent my life lifting lumber, not sales brochures." "I am warning you," he said. "You are warning me?" I put the clipboard down and gave him my full attention. "About what, exactly? Are you threatening me in my own store?" "I am telling you to back off." "Back off from what?" I asked. "My wife? My life? My town?" I smiled, but there was not a friendly thing in it. "Here is the problem for you, Adam. You made it personal when you chose my wife. You made it public when you bragged about it. And you made it my business when you assumed I was too dumb to notice." Ray stopped pretending to study drill bits. Mrs. Whitaker froze halfway through comparing garden hoses. "I never bragged about anything," Adam said, but his voice had lost its shine. "No? Then explain this," I said. "How does half the town know about your flexible schedule? How does everyone at the Lantern Bar know you buy drinks for married women? How does Casey know you tip extra to keep quiet about who you meet there?" Adam's color drained. "You cannot prove any of that." "I do not have to," I said. "You already did, by living it." I picked up my clipboard. "Unless you are here to buy something, you should go. This is a respectable business. I will not have you making my customers uncomfortable." He glanced around and finally noticed our audience. Ray Walker was giving him a look like he had stepped in something. Mrs. Whitaker turned her back on him altogether. "This is not over," he said under his breath. "You are right," I said, meeting his eyes. "It is not. Think hard about your next step. Every action has a consequence, and yours are only getting started." He left without another word, fists tight, shoulders telegraphing the temper of a man who is not used to pushback, especially from someone he thinks is beneath him. That afternoon, Logan Hayes swung by with the latest from the grapevine. "Adam is calling around doing damage control," he said. "Says you are harassing him, spreading lies. The usual poor me routine. Anyone buying it?" "Not really," Logan said. "Truth is, folks have been waiting years for somebody to knock him down a notch. You have more support than you think." He paused. "As for Lauren, that is interesting. Ashley is trying to sell it as your midlife crisis, but it is not sticking. Too many people saw Lauren and Adam together. Nobody likes a cheater." I filed it away. Public opinion is a sharp tool. Useful, but it cuts both ways if you are sloppy. That evening, Brooke called with her own update. "I had lunch with Emily today," she said. "Remember her? Adam's old high school girlfriend, the one he ditched right before prom." "I remember. She has stories about his business," Brooke said. "Promising clients things he cannot deliver. Puffing up listing values. Cutting corners on inspections." "Anything actionable?" "Maybe," she said. She is married to a man at the State Real Estate Commission. She is thinking about filing a complaint. Tell her to hold for now, I said. We will time it. What are you thinking? The spring festival is next weekend. Half the town shows up. So do Adam and Lauren. Would be a shame if the truth walked around in the sunlight. Brooke's laugh was pure delight. Ethan Mallory, you are diabolical. I prefer thorough, I said. Tuesday gave me an unexpected visitor. I was locking up when Ashley Monroe appeared at the glass, wearing a mix of nerves and resolve. We are closed, I called. Please, Ethan. I need to talk. Against my better judgment, I let her in. Ashley has been Lauren's best friend since college, held together by shared secrets and mutual excuses. If she had come here, Lauren had to be desperate. This has gone far enough, she said, no greeting. Lauren is a mess. She is not eating. She is not sleeping. You are destroying her. I am not destroying anything, I said calm. I have stopped covering for lies. She made a mistake. She made a choice, I said. A planned, deliberate choice to betray our marriage and make me a punchline. Now she can live with the result. You are being cruel, Ashley said, cheeks flushing. I am being honest. You and Lauren should try it. She swallowed. What do you want? Money? An apology? Tell me what ends this. I studied her face. Ashley's whole image was built around being Lauren's loyal shield. If Lauren fell, the shield fell with her. I want the truth, I said. How long? How long have you been covering for her? Her shoulders sagged. 6 months, she whispered. Maybe longer. She swore it did not mean anything. Just physical. And you believed her? I wanted to, she said. She is my best friend. Your best friend is a liar and a cheat, I said. And you helped. You made the cover stories. You greased the tracks while she wrecked my marriage. So do not come in here lecturing me about cruelty. You want to see cruel? Keep protecting her. Keep making excuses. See how that pays out for both of you. Ashley left in tears. I did not feel proud about it. This was not about hurting bystanders. It was about the guilty meeting the bill. Wednesday brought news that put a spring in my step. Adam's Tesla got towed from the municipal lot for unpaid parking violations, tickets that kept appearing under his wiper the past few days. The towing outfit, which happens to be owned by Ray Walker's nephew, documented every slip. By Thursday, the town had its story of the week. Adam's reeking car, the tickets, the whispers about his listings, all stacking into one very public slide. Lauren, meanwhile, had mostly stopped coming home. The rumor mill said she was staying with Ashley, but the friendship sounded wobbly. Adversity can test loyalty better than any oath. Friday night, I was in the shop late when I heard steps on the gravel. I looked up. Adam Pierce stood in the doorway, a shadow cut out of the last of the light. This time Adam did not come alone. 2 men stood behind him, thick shoulders, blank eyes, the sort of build that says they were not here for small talk. Evening, Ethan, Adam said, too casual to be real. Mind if we come in? I set down my saw and turned to face them. I do mind. This is my property. If you want to talk, make an appointment during business hours. Right now, you are trespassing. Adam stepped into the workshop anyway. The other 2 followed like shadows. Here is the issue, Ethan, he said. You have been causing me problems, spreading stories, bothering me at work, making my life difficult. I have not spread a single rumor, I said. Everything I have said is documented fact. Funny thing about facts, one of the big men muttered. People read them different ways. I knew that tone, the weight in it. These were not co-workers. They were hired muscle, likely from out of town, so nobody would recognize them. You know what is funnier? I asked, reaching slowly for my phone. You brought witnesses to whatever you thought you were going to do. That is either very confident or very foolish. Adam's expression slipped. We are not doing anything. We are just talking. A conversation that needs 2 bodyguards in my private shop after dark, I said, lifting the phone. Smile? You are on camera. After a break-in 2 years ago, I put cameras in the workshop. Every word and twitch was headed straight to a cloud server Adam could not touch. Turn off the camera, one of the men said. Cannot, I replied. Insurance rules. But please keep going. The sheriff will love the playback. Adam realized it a beat too late. His temper had taken the wheel, and now he was on record showing up with muscle to lean on me. This is not over, he said, backing toward the door. You keep saying that, I answered. But every time you push, you make it worse for yourself. Maybe try a new plan. They left without another word. I watched the fury in Adam's eyes as he went. Pride was driving now. Common sense had climbed out miles back. I phoned Logan Hayes as soon as the gravel settled. Spread the word, I said. Adam Pierce brought muscle to my shop to rattle me. All of it is on camera. Good Lord, Ethan. Are you all right? I am fine. I just want people to see who he is. The kind of man who brings thugs to threaten anyone who gets in his way. Consider it done, Logan said. By Saturday morning, Town Talk had a full head of steam. The story grew the way stories do until Adam was a dime store mob boss, and I was the stubborn local who refused to bow. The truth was simpler. Adam is a small-time bully who finally met someone who would not be pushed. Still, the louder version traveled faster, and I did not mind. Gossip is a tool if you know how to hold it. The spring festival was set for Sunday, and I had one last surprise lined up for Adam and Lauren, the kind that ends a fight clean. All I needed was timing and a few friends. For one weekend, every year our sleepy town pretends to be a city. Food trucks crowd Main Street. A plywood stage hosts local bands. People come to see and be seen. It is the big social day on the calendar, which makes it perfect for what I had in mind. I arrived early and helped Logan raise the Lantern Bar's beer tent near the stage. The morning sky was so blue it made everything feel possible. You sure about this? Logan asked as we wrestled poles into place. Once this starts, there is no walking it back. I have been sure since the night Lauren told me she was sleeping with other men, I said. This is not about revenge anymore. It is about justice. Brooke slid in beside us carrying 2 coffees, a sundress catching the light in a way that made 3 different men stumble over their own feet. Everything ready. I patted the laptop bag on my shoulder. As ready as it gets. Officially, the festival opened at noon. Unofficially, people started rolling in at 10. By 11:30, the crowd was thick enough to hide anything that needed hiding. Adam arrived first, gliding up in a rental since his Tesla was still out of commission. He wore casual clothes that probably cost more than a month's rent and moved through the crowd like a man inspecting property he already owned. Lauren appeared 20 minutes later with Ashley. She looked worn, trying hard to hold her face steady for the public. She has always been good at that, polished surface, cracked foundation. I watched from the beer tent and tracked their path through the sea of bodies. Adam worked the festival like he was running for office. Handshakes, small talk, the whole act. Lauren stuck close to Ashley, keeping her eyes down so nobody could corner her with hard questions. At 1 o'clock, I set my plan in motion. The main stage had a full sound setup and a big screen for announcements and local ads. The tech booth was run by Noah Martinez, a smart kid who graduated with my nephew and knows more about computers than the rest of our town put together. He was very interested when I told him what Adam and Lauren had done, especially after I showed him the workshop security clip. He was also interested in the little flash drive I handed him, loaded with a few careful highlights from Lauren's cloud backup. You are sure about this, Mr. Mallory? He asked. It is going to kick up a lot of drama. Drama already happened, I said. I am just letting the truth have a turn. At 1:15, right in the middle of Adam's impromptu speech about supporting local business, the screen behind him changed. Not ads, not a sponsor logo. Message threads. They scrolled slow enough for anyone with eyes to read them. Lauren and Adam, in their own words, planning meetings, mocking me, calling me clueless, laughing about how easy it all was. The crowd went still. Hundreds of people stood quiet and watched their phones come to life on a 20-foot-tall wall. Adam felt the air shift. He turned, saw the screen, and went white. Turn that off, he yelled. But Noah had already melted into the crowd. The messages kept rolling, each one worse than the last. Then came the photos. Nothing obscene. I was not there to traumatize families, but enough to make the truth plain. Adam and Lauren holding hands at dinner. Lauren in Adam's car. An embrace outside his house. Dates and times stamped on every shot. The hush cracked. First murmurs. Then talk. Then a low, angry buzz. In a place where reputation is currency, Adam and Lauren had just declared bankruptcy in front of everyone. I was not finished. The last file on the drive was the video from my workshop. The whole town watched Adam walk in after dark with 2 big men at his shoulders. The audio was clean as a bell. We just want to talk, Adam's recorded voice said, while the picture showed exactly what he had brought. The noise from the crowd rose into a growl. Whatever sympathy Adam might have had was gone. Sheriff Cole Whitman, who had been enjoying a funnel cake near the stage, suddenly had a very public job to do. Hundreds of heads turned toward him. He squared his shoulders and raised his voice. "Adam Pierce," he called across the green. "We need to have a conversation." Adam ran. It was sad to see. A grown man in pricey weekend wear sprinting through families and food wagons. He made it maybe 50 yards before Ray Walker's grandson, a linebacker at the high school, put him into a table of handmade crafts. The crowd gasped, then clapped. Lauren got away in the shuffle, but only because nobody felt like chasing her. She and Ashley slid into the sea of people, both of them crying and trying to dodge the stares that stuck to them like wet leaves. I watched from the beer tent, half proud and half tired. 7 months of lies, smirks, and humiliation just met 5 loud minutes of daylight. "Holy man," Logan breathed beside me. "You actually did it." "We did it," I said, slipping an arm around Brooke's shoulders. "All of us." The festival kept rolling, but the mood changed. People pointed at the stage, replaying what they had seen, sorting the pieces out loud. Adam and Lauren would carry that brand for years. Sheriff Whitman arrested Adam for harassment and intimidation. With the video, those charges had teeth. The two toughs vanished in the chaos, likely headed back to whatever city bus stop had delivered them. Lauren's employer would hear about it within hours. In a business built on trust, her work life was over. Ashley, tied to it all by choice and cover stories, would find that hospitals do not love scandal. When the sun dipped, I sat on a picnic table with Brooke and watched crews pull tents and coil cables. People still lingered, talking about what they had witnessed. "What happens now?" Brooke asked. "Now Lauren and I get divorced," I said. "Adam deals with the law. Life goes on. The truth is out. People know who they are. And us." I looked at her, the woman who stood next to me through the worst stretch of my life, and helped me fight back without stepping over the line. "Us," I said. "I want to see where this goes, if you are willing." Her smile could have powered the whole fair. "I have been willing for 7 years, Ethan Mallory. I was waiting for you to catch up." We kissed as the last string of lights blinked dark, surrounded by paper cups, trampled flyers, and a thick, clean feeling that the job was finally done right. 3 months later, a judge convicted Adam Pierce of harassment and intimidation. He served 60 days in county jail and paid heavy fines. After Emily's complaint, the state dug into his listings and found more problems than promises. His license was revoked. Lauren lost her job and went back to her parents in another state. Our divorce was finalized without a fight. Ashley was let go from the hospital and left town when the whispers did not stop. I kept the farmhouse, the hardware store, and my pride. More important, I kept Brooke, who moved in 6 months after the festival and brought light back into rooms that had been dim too long. Folks still tell the story of that spring festival, the day the quiet man who fixes loose steps and sticky doors fixed something bigger. Adam and Lauren thought they were sharper, smoother, better connected. They thought I would take whatever they handed me. They were wrong. Sometimes the underdog does not just bite back. Sometimes the underdog wins.